Well, I think coaches in volleyball have big responsibilities, important roles to play. And it's not just unique to me, but I think to lots of coaches in volleyball. We need to be teachers, I think, first and foremost, to help all the people in our program learn and improve. We also need to be learners because we have to be a model of learning for everybody in our program. And of course I don't know it all, and the more I learn that I have to learn more. So I need to be a teacher and a learner and a leader. First of all, I have to lead myself, and then I have to lead the rest of the group. We have lots of leaders in our program, but I have to be, it's certainly lots of people depend on me to help lead the path for our USA women. My name is Karch Kirai, and I'm a volleyball coach.
My journey's not by mistake. Every hard thing that I've gone through has built something in me that I've needed down the road. And even though it sucks in the moment to not be picked or to get hurt or whatever it might be, the hard stuff builds stuff in you that's necessary for life, and you'll be using it down the road. It may not feel like that in the moment. But for me, you know, it's not really about proving other people wrong. It's proving myself right. You know, if you guys haven't figured out yet, I don't really care. You like me, you don't like me, I don't care. I'm just going to be myself. And if you like me, great. If not, we just keep it moving.
I tried to get across too that my opponents will tell you, never heard me mention winning. Never mention winning. My idea is that you can lose when you outscore somebody in a game, and you can win when you're outscored. I've felt that way on certain occasions at various times. And I just wanted to be able to hold their head up after a game. I used to say that when a game is over and you see somebody that didn't know the outcome, I hope they couldn't tell by your actions whether you outscored an opponent or the opponent outscored you. And that's what really matters. If you make your effort to do the best you can regularly, the results will be about what they should be. Not necessarily what you would want them to be, but they'll be about what they should. And only you will know whether you can do that. And that's what I wanted from them more than anything else. And as time went by and I learned more about other things, I think it worked a little better as far as the results. But I wanted the score of a game to be the byproduct of these other things and not the end itself. I believe it was one great philosopher said, Cervantes. Cervantes said, the journey is better than the end. And I like that. I think that is. It's getting there. Sometimes when you get there, there's almost a letdown. But it's getting there that's the fun. I like to, as a basketball coach at UCLA, I liked our practices to be the journey. And the game would be the end result. And I'd like to go up and sit in the stands and watch the players play and see whether I'd done a decent job during the week. And there again, it's getting the players to get that self-satisfaction, knowing that they've made the effort to do the best of which they are capable.
It's family, you know. For years I was a transactional coach. What can I get? What can I get? And when you get fired, it humbles you. I spent 430 days outside the game. Everybody asked, you know, you were here with the Aggies in 2011. No, I wasn't. I was fired. And I had to sit there and watch the Aggies play. And God has brought me full circle and changed my life. I was dead and he saved me. And so I'm a transformational coach now. It's not about wins or losses. It's about love. It's about building men, building relationships that'll last forever. I got a second chance. This guy's a second chance guy. This guy's a second chance guy. This guy's a second chance guy. We're about building people up. You know, it's not mission Omaha, it's mission build and save lives. And that's what we're in the business of doing. This is the most unselfish, selfless group of men and families I've ever been around. This is rare in this day and age. Rare in a microwave society where it's all about entitlement and all about when do I get to play. This guy's playing with a broken left hand right now. Nobody knows that. His left hand's broken. Last year he played with a broken wrist. Last year Taylor Bean played with a broken thumb. I won't even get into the rest of the litany of injuries that are going on with this team right now. Andrew Frigier just walked up to me in the dugout and said, "Give my last at bat to Nate Van Dyke." Robbie Rojas gave up his last at bat so Hunter Sutherland could catch. You know, there is no greater honor, and this is, I could preach. It's what I wish our country would get back to. There's no greater honor than to sacrifice for a brother. And that encapsulates and embodies this team to a T. That's why they're so lovable.
I was very composed moments ago. It's hard to watch video. It's one of the things with being an athlete. You get to see how you've fallen from your prime. I thought sports, in the last few years, I thought sports hated me. And worse still, I thought that you thought I hate sport. But I don't. It's just that I'm a scientist, and sport teaches what we make it teach. It is a wonderful, glorious, powerful, penetrative, empty vessel. And when we fill it with things that are ethical, evidence-based, kind, empathetic, then it can do remarkable things. I'm a fat kid from Stockport who likes books and Greg's steak slices. I started playing basketball when I was 17 years old, and 6 years later I was starting in the NBA. The reason I say that is because my first session at a gym in Chorlton that smelled strongly of urine, I played my first ever practice. I missed my first shot by 6 feet, and the people who surrounded me looked at me, and all I could see reflected back in their face was my potential. They told me about this thing called the NBA, and after 45 minutes of my first practice, I told them I was going to play there, sitting on a cold tile floor, putting on my plimsolls. And when I said I would play there, they looked at me and they said, "Of course you will. Sport is a big, empty vessel. But when we fill it with ethics and integrity, the most unlikely of people in the most improbable of circumstances can become extraordinary."
You have to know your players and get to know them to know what's going to help them play better. And number two, it can't just be one way, my way or the highway, because if that's the case, then you're going to push a lot of guys to the highway that can't follow that one way. You've got to get every single player, how am I going to connect with him? How am I going to make it better for him? And then what I tell coaches all the time, young coaches that I talk to, if you only coach that person on the field, and if you only make them a better player, you've really missed a great opportunity, because they're only going to play for a certain amount of years. And they're going to retire from sports at 18, 20, 21, maybe if they're fortunate, Adam Vinatieri, and you go to 44, but everybody's going to retire. So if you only make them a better player on the field, boy, you've lost a great opportunity. Help these guys be better men or ladies. You have
Can I add to that? Because I think, it is a massive problem in New Zealand. And our biggest problem is that we don't give those people that are struggling the permission to say they're struggling. We think we have to hide it. And as a result of hiding it, it bottles up, and then it's like a big volcano, isn't it? When it gets too hot, it blows. And you know, our job as parents, as work colleagues, is to support the people. But first of all, you've got to know that they need the support, and to know that, you've got to know your people, and then you've got to allow them to be vulnerable. And it takes a lot to be vulnerable, you know, because how people react to your vulnerability is either going to allow you to do it again, or it's going to shut you down. So giving them permission, I think, is the key, and then letting them just be vulnerable. And you know, it's no different in sport, families, or work. We've got to do it better than we're doing it.
Be careful what you wish for. So I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to try to be measured with some of the things I say, just because I think this stuff always gets to be put back on you and all that stuff. But you know, I think back to the question talked about growth. And very rarely is growth just like this. And very rarely in life, whether it's the story of bamboo, who bamboo grows very little for 6 years and then 6 weeks will sprout 6 feet. Whether you're talking about my father-in-law who's a farmer, and you don't plant seed and it grows the next day. You got to go through a spring, you got to go through rain, you got to go through mud, you got to go through heat, and then something great comes and bursts through the ground for that. I think we're such a instant gratification era, including myself. I'm not putting this on anybody. It's the entire world we live in, that we're trying to skip the step of adversity and growth. And you're never going to be able to skip that in life. You're always going to have to face it, whether that's in your marriage, whether that's in your job, whether that's raising kids. And I know what's happened. We want to, as parents, as older people, we want to help the next generation not have to face some of the hardships that we faced. But man, the greatest generation in the world is the greatest generation, because they faced the Great Depression, they faced the World War II. You know, they figured it out. And I just worry about, there's going to be players who leave our program, and I love them dearly. And you know, it's maybe they're not excited about their role, or they're frustrated because they don't feel like they're being utilized the right way. And sometimes you just got to keep growing, you know, and you know, sometimes the grass isn't always greener on the other side, and sometimes you're just trading one set of problems for another. So.
The urge is, you're the coach, you want to control it, but coaching is not controlling it, it's guiding, you know. And when I first started with the Warriors my first day of practice would have been about October 1st or something, so it's only been 2 months, but it was a little overwhelming because I had all these ideas. I wanted to cut back on turnovers, I wanted to be better offensively, I wanted to get better ball movement, and the first day of practice, it's just helter-skelter, it's crazy, and I'm thinking, how am I going to get control of these guys? And I realized quickly that I wasn't going to be able to, that it wasn't going to happen by me saying, you have to do this, you have to do that. It's like, you know, steering a cruise ship or something. If you got to go over that way, it's going to take you a while to get there, but it takes everybody's participation to get the ship pointed in the right direction. So what I tried to do was just continue to communicate our vision, and then sort of gently nudge guys along.
I was talking with Shay a couple days ago, and one of the things we talked about was how we all wait in life for things to get easier. Think in your own life, if you've waited for something to get easier. Oh, I just got to get through this and then it'll be easy. I've just got to get through preseason and then it'll be okay. I've just got to get through my junior year of high school, and then the classes are going to get easier. Or I've just got to get to my spring of my senior year of college, and it's going to be easier. It's what we do. We wait for stuff to get easier. It will never get easier. What happens is you handle hard better. That's what happens. Most people think that it's going to get easier. Life is going to get easier. Basketball is going to get easier. School's going to get easier. It never gets easier. What happens is you become someone that handles hard stuff better. So that's a mental shift that has to occur in each of your brains. It has to. Because if you go around waiting for stuff to get easier in life, it's never going to happen. And then what happens? Oh, it's so hard. Oh, I can't do it. Oh, I don't know when is it going to be easy for me? Oh, it's easy for other people. It's not. It's hard. And the second we see you handling stuff, handling hard better, what are we going to do? We're going to make it harder. We're going to make it harder. Because we're preparing for you for when you leave here. Not just basketball and life. And if you think life, when you leave college, is going to be all of a sudden get easy because you graduated and you got a Duke degree, it's not going to get easier. It's going to get harder. So make yourself a person that handles hard well. Not someone that's waiting for the easy. Because if you have a meaningful pursuit in life, it will never be easy. If you're trying to win a championship, if you're trying to have a family, ask your parents. Do you think it was ever easy for them to raise kids? Karen, is it easy? It's not. Any meaningful pursuit in life, if you want to be successful at it, it goes to the people that handle hard well. Those are the people that get the stuff they want. People that wait around for easy, you probably see them at the bus stop. They're waiting for the easy bus to come around. Easy bus never comes around. You've got to handle hard. Okay, so don't get discouraged through this time. If it's hard, don't get discouraged. It's supposed to be. And don't wait for it to be, I just got to get through the summer. And then it'll all of a sudden get easy in the fall. No, it won't. It won't. It won't get easy in the fall. So make yourself someone that handles hard well. And then whatever comes at you, you're going to be great. You're going to be great, okay?